Okie dokie, so I decided to do my video again because the last one sucked. Anyways, so it's pretty simple. This is a fur dyeing tutorial. I suggest doing it in a small amount because it takes a lot of time and it's really tiring on your hands. So what I did is I took regular acrylic paint. I took yellow and red to obviously make orange. What you do is you mix your paint in here. You'll need a fair bit. You'll probably need about that much in there. Well, yeah, roughly that amount for, you know, a 1 by 1 foot square of fur. That's just regular white fur, and obviously not anymore. So you mix up your paint really well, really thoroughly. Make it a little bit darker than what you want, because then you're going to add some water. You're going to add almost a cup full of water and make it so it's really liquidy. See how this is liquidy compared to like a thick glob of paint? So after you do that, it's easier if you do this in a bin or a tub or, you know, something. You turn your fur onto its backside, you pour it on, you wring it out constantly so that everything is covered. You can squeeze out all the liquid, rub it into the whiter spots, squeeze it out again, you know, whatever. Just make sure everything is covered. Now after you do that, it's easier if you take it onto a board or a piece of cardboard. I'll probably move this onto my board because my cardboard will get wet. And here it will pretty much dry for the next couple of days, depending on how much water you added, depending on how dark you want to get it. Added a fair bit of water to my mixture because I want the fur obviously fairly dark. I don't know where that came from. Anyways, so yeah, this is pretty dark compared to white, which is what it was before. So that took a fair amount of liquids. Now, from here, you don't want to just let it sit and dry like this. You have to actually watch it. And I don't mean like watch it. I mean like every about half hour. So again, depending on how much liquid you have, the more liquidy, the less you have to check it because it's obviously a lot more wet. If you have a little bit of liquid, you might want to check it, you know, a little bit sooner. What you want to do is you just want to brush it out every so often. Just get all the chunk. What I like to do is I like to brush it one way, and then in 10 minutes, and then in 10 minutes after, I just want to lightly flick up in the opposite direction. So that way it gives it more air and shows more surface area so that it dries just a little bit quicker. Because again, I added a lot more water. Now, don't be worried that your fur is really heavy because you have a lot of water. It will eventually all dry out. Just let it dry out on its own. But since this is now dyed, you probably can't wash it. So I would suggest doing a piece of custom dye fur, attaching it to your bodysuit or something like on the back or whatever, and then throwing it into the wash because it'll just wash all right out. And there goes your suit. Good job, noob. So yeah, just pretty much do that. That's what I like to do. How it's all floofed up now, all in the opposite direction. And then I'll probably come back and check on it in maybe a half hour. Brush it this way or brush it that way. It doesn't really matter which way you brush it. I suggest you just keep the fur up, more surface area, dries quicker, dries more evenly. But again, I can't stress how much you have to actually check it every so often, because once you let this paint dry just like this, if I were to leave this like this for the next 2 days, I'd be screwed. The fur is useless to me now. So that's pretty much it. And for those of you who keep asking me how I did the paint markings on my ambi suit, actually here, let me show you. I was watching Lord of the Rings. It's almost the same concept minus the water part. A lot of people do this if they don't have an airbrush, especially like myself. So what I just did is I took my regular red paint, got a paintbrush, and just painted it on. Like, I didn't glob it on hardcore. You just paint it like you're painting a soft picture. And again, every so often you want to brush it out so it doesn't chunk up. See how it's all nice and loose and it's not chunky. Like if I were to paint it and just left it, it'd be like this giant glob, which you don't want, right? So that's that, and that's bird dyeing for you, I guess. If you have any questions, just post it down below, and I will answer. Or if you want to send me an email, I don't even know if I'm pointing to the right side. If you want to send me an email, my email will be in the description box to the side I'm hopefully pointing correctly at. So yeah, okay, bye.